Step back in time and explore the vibrant sounds of the 1970s, a golden era for Black artists who revolutionized soul, funk, disco, and rock. From unforgettable grooves to hidden gems, these 25 incredible Black bands dazzled music lovers before quietly fading into obscurity. The brothers Johnson, a sibling duo consisting of George, Lightnin' Licks, and Louis, Thunder Thumbs, Johnson, were a powerhouse in the late 1970s, delivering a string of hits that defined the era's funk and R&B sound. Under the production of the legendary Quincy Jones, they achieved massive success with tracks like Strawberry Letter 23, Stomp, and I'll Be Good to You. Their music combined infectious grooves, George's impeccable guitar work, and Louis's groundbreaking bass lines, making them favorites among fans and musicians alike. Despite their talent and success, tensions between the brothers began to take a toll on the group. Sibling rivalries and creative differences led to their eventual decline by the mid-1980s. While both pursued solo careers, neither achieved the same level of success as they had together. The brothers Johnson's legacy endures, however, with their music continuing to influence countless artists and delight fans of funk and R&B. The Dramatics were a Detroit-based R&B and soul group that delivered a string of chart-topping hits during the 1970s. Known for their smooth harmonies and emotionally charged ballads, they achieved success with songs like In the Rain, What You See Is What You Get, and Be My Girl. The group's blend of heartfelt lyrics and polished vocal arrangements resonated deeply with fans, earning them a dedicated following. However, the group faced significant challenges over the years, including frequent lineup changes and shifting industry dynamics. These disruptions made it difficult for the Dramatics to maintain the consistency needed for sustained success. Despite these obstacles, the group managed to leave an indelible mark on the soul and R&B genres. Their music remains a favorite among fans of classic soul, and their influence can be heard in the work of artists who followed. The Dramatics are a testament to the enduring power of timeless melodies. Slave was a Dayton, Ohio-based funk band that burst onto the scene in the mid-1970s with a sound that combined deep grooves, punchy horns, and irresistible bass lines. Their breakout hit, Slide, became a funk anthem, celebrated for its infectious energy and danceability. Other tracks like Just a Touch of Love and Watching You further solidified their reputation as masters of funk. The band's music was characterized by Mark Adams' innovative bass playing and Steve Arrington's soulful vocals. However, despite their success, Slave faced significant internal conflicts, including disagreements over creative direction and management issues. These tensions eventually led to multiple lineup changes, which affected the group's cohesion and longevity. By the late 1980s, the original essence of Slave had dissolved, and the band officially disbanded. Despite their struggles, Slave's music continues to be celebrated by funk lovers, and their influence can be heard in the works of many modern artists. Slave's grooves may have faded, but their legacy in the world of funk remains undeniable. Speaking of legacy, the next band took a different approach, blending funk, soul, and Afrocentric rhythms to create a sound like no other. Let's dive into the story of Cymanda. Cymanda, a British-American funk band with strong Caribbean influences, carved out a unique niche in the early 1970s music scene. Their sound, which blended funk, reggae, soul, and jazz, created a distinct groove that resonated with audiences seeking something fresh and original. Tracks like Bra, The Message, and Dove showcased their ability to create hypnotic rhythms and socially conscious lyrics, earning them a devoted cult following. Cymanda's multicultural lineup brought a rich diversity to their music, making them stand out among their contemporaries. Despite their artistic success and critical acclaim, the band faced challenges in maintaining commercial momentum. Changing musical trends and industry pressures led to their disbandment in 1974, cutting short a promising career. However, Cymanda's influence has grown over the years, with their music being rediscovered and sampled by artists like De La Soul and the Fugees. Today they are celebrated as pioneers of funk and soul fusion. Mandrill was a groundbreaking band that pushed musical boundaries in the 1970s with their eclectic fusion of funk, jazz, soul, and Afro-Latin influences. Known for their electrifying live performances and experimental approach, the group stood out with hits like Fence Walk, Mango Meat, and Ape is High. The band, formed by the Wilson brothers in Brooklyn, brought a multicultural and multi-genre sensibility to their music, blending rhythms and melodies from various traditions. Mandrill's bold, innovative sound earned them a devoted following, particularly among fans of funk and fusion. Have you ever wondered how a band so innovative and influential could remain under the radar for so long? Despite their creativity, the band struggled to achieve consistent commercial success, often overshadowed by more mainstream acts of the era. Internal challenges and industry shifts further hindered their longevity. However, their influence can still be felt, as their music has been sampled by hip-hop artists like Public Enemy and Kanye West. Mandrill remains a beloved cult favorite and a symbol of fearless musical experimentation. The Jones Girls, a talented trio composed of sisters Shirley, Brenda, and Valerie Jones, were known for their tight harmonies and smooth R&B sound. Emerging in the late 1970s, they quickly gained recognition under the guidance of legendary producer Gamble and Huff on the Philadelphia International Records label. Their hits, including You're Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else and Nights Over Egypt, showcase their ability to blend sophistication with emotional depth. The trio's impeccable vocal chemistry made them standout performers in the soul and R&B genres. However, as the music landscape shifted in the 1980s with the rise of synth-heavy production and more electronic-driven sounds, the Jones Girls struggled to adapt. Internal challenges, combined with changing industry trends, hindered their ability to maintain mainstream success. Despite their struggles, their music has remained influential, with many of their songs sampled by contemporary artists. The Jones Girls remain a cherished name in the history of R&B. The Jones Girls remain a cherished name in the history of R&B, their timeless music continuing to inspire generations. Haven't had enough of all these amazing bands yet? Keep watching, because there's even more to come. BT Express, short for Brooklyn Trucking Express, was a funk and disco band that brought high-energy grooves to the 1970s music scene. Known for their smash hit Do It, Till You're Satisfied, the band created music that resonated with partygoers and funk enthusiasts alike. Their follow-up singles, like Express and Peace Pipe, further cemented their reputation as creators of infectious dance tracks. BT Express stood out with their ability to combine funky rhythms, catchy melodies, and smooth vocal harmonies. Despite their initial success, the band faced stiff competition from other prominent funk groups of the time, such as Parliament Funkadelic and Kool and the Gang, which overshadowed their achievements. As disco's popularity waned in the late 1970s, BT Express struggled to maintain their momentum in an evolving music industry. However, their hits remain beloved classics, and their contribution to funk and disco is remembered fondly by fans of the era. Bloodstone, a Kansas City-based group, brought a unique blend of soul, funk, and rock to the music scene in the 1970s. Their biggest hit, Natural High, became a timeless classic, celebrated for its heartfelt lyrics and smooth harmonies. The group's ability to seamlessly incorporate rock elements into their soulful sound set them apart from many of their contemporaries, showcasing their versatility and creativity. Bloodstone followed up with tracks like Outside Woman and Do You Wanna Do a Thing, which further demonstrated their talent for crafting memorable melodies and engaging performances. Despite their early success, the group struggled to maintain their momentum in the face of changing musical trends and industry challenges. By the 1980s, Bloodstone's prominence had faded, although their music remained beloved by fans of classic soul. Their legacy endures through their innovative approach to blending genres and their contributions to the evolution of soul and funk music. Known for their silky harmonies and smooth soul tracks like Don't Turn Around and You and I, Black Ivory emerged in the early 1970s as one of the most promising R&B acts of their time. The trio, composed of Leroy Burgess, Stuart Bascom, and Russell Patterson, captured the essence of romantic soul with heartfelt lyrics and elegant melodies. Their sound rivaled that of contemporaries like the Delphonics and the Stylistics, earning them a dedicated fan base. Despite their immense talent and critical acclaim, Black Ivory struggled to sustain their success amid the rapidly evolving music landscape. The emergence of disco and other genres in the late 70s overshadowed their soulful sound, making it challenging to adapt and maintain commercial appeal. While they never achieved the widespread fame they deserved, their music remains a treasure for fans of classic soul. Black Ivory's enduring influence is a testament to their artistry and timeless appeal. Black Ivory's soulful melodies and timeless appeal may not have dominated the charts, but their music continues to resonate with true fans of classic soul. Up next, we explore another powerhouse of vocal talent and emotion, the Soul Children, a group that brought grit and gospel-infused energy to the R&B scene. The Soul Children were a dynamic Memphis-based group that thrived under the legendary Stax Records label in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Comprised of John Colbert, aka Jay Blackfoot, Anita Lewis, Shelbra Bennett, and Norman West, the group specialized in rich harmonies and emotionally charged performances. Their hits, including The Sweeter He Is and Hearsay, exemplified the raw, gritty soul sound that defined Stax's legacy. The group's ability to convey both heartbreak and joy resonated deeply with listeners, earning them a string of chart successes. What made their heartfelt performances connect so deeply with audiences across generations? However, the collapse of Stax Records in 1975 marked the beginning of their decline. Without the support of their iconic label, the Soul Children struggled to maintain their momentum in the increasingly competitive music industry. Despite their untimely fade from the spotlight, their contributions to soul music remain significant. The Soul Children are remembered as one of the most talented yet underappreciated acts of their era. 24 Karat Black's debut album, Ghetto Misfortune's Wealth, released in 1973, stands as one of the most innovative yet underappreciated works in the history of soul and funk music. Led by composer and producer Dale Warren, the album explored themes of poverty, social inequality, and despair, blending lush orchestration with hauntingly poignant lyrics. The record's cinematic quality and bold narrative approach set it apart from other releases of the era, but it struggled to find commercial success. The band's lack of exposure and support from their label contributed to their inability to sustain momentum. Despite their brief time in the spotlight, Ghetto Misfortune's Wealth has since gained recognition as a masterpiece, influencing generations of musicians and producers. The album has been widely sampled by hip-hop artists, including Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z, bringing 24 Karat Black's work to a new audience. Their story remains a testament to the enduring power of overlooked genius. Hailing from New Orleans, Chocolate Milk was a vibrant funk and R&B band that brought infectious grooves and undeniable energy to the music scene in the late 1970s and early 1980s. They emerged under the guidance of legendary producer Allen Toussaint, who helped shape their sound. Chocolate Milk gained attention with hits like Action Speaks Louder Than Words, a track often credited as one of the earliest examples of politically charged funk. Their blend of funky rhythms, soulful melodies, and socially conscious lyrics set them apart. However, despite their talent and the quality of their music, they struggled to compete with bigger names in the funk and R&B world, such as Earth, Wind and Fire, and Kool and the Gang. Industry challenges and shifting musical trends made it difficult for Chocolate Milk to maintain mainstream appeal. Today, they're remembered as underrated pioneers, whose contributions to funk and soul continue to influence contemporary artists. Chocolate Milk's legacy as underrated pioneers of funk and soul lives on, paving the way for the next band, Faith, Hope, and Charity, who brought their own unique blend of harmony and heart to the R&B scene. Faith, Hope, and Charity was a soulful trio that brought a unique blend of disco and soul to the 1970s music scene. Comprised of Brenda Hilliard, Zulema Kuso, and Albert Bailey, the group's harmonious vocals and upbeat tracks captured the essence of the disco era. Under the guidance of producer and songwriter Van McCoy, they found moderate success with hits like To Each His Own, which showcased their ability to combine smooth soul melodies with infectious dance rhythms. Despite their talent and a few chart-topping moments, the trio struggled to carve out a lasting niche in the competitive music landscape of the late 1970s. The disco explosion brought a flood of new acts, making it difficult for faith, hope, and charity to sustain their momentum. By the early 1980s, they had faded from the spotlight. However, their brief but impactful presence in the industry left a lasting impression on disco and soul enthusiasts. Brainstorm was a Detroit-based funk and R&B group that emerged in the late 1970s with a sound that combined infectious grooves, dynamic vocals, and innovative instrumentation. Their biggest hit, "Lovin' Is Really My Game," became a dance floor classic, showcasing their ability to create high-energy, feel-good music. The group's debut album, Stormin', received critical acclaim and established them as a promising act in the funk scene. Tracks like "This Must Be Heaven" displayed their versatility, blending funk with elements of soul and jazz. Despite their initial success, Brainstorm struggled to maintain momentum in a competitive and rapidly evolving music industry. After releasing a few albums, the group disbanded in the early 1980s, leaving behind a legacy of quality music that continues to resonate with funk enthusiasts. Though their time in the spotlight was brief, Brainstorm's contributions to funk and R&B are fondly remembered, and their hits remain staples of the genre. The New Birth was a dynamic and ambitious ensemble that thrilled audiences with their eclectic mix of soul, funk, and R&B. Formed in the early 1970s, the group featured a large lineup that included vocalists, instrumentalists, and a horn section, giving their music a rich and powerful sound. Hits like "Wildflower" and "I Can Understand It" showcased their versatility, blending soulful ballads with high-energy funk tracks. Their energetic live performances and tight arrangements earned them a devoted following. However, the group's large size presented significant challenges, including financial strain and difficulty maintaining cohesion. Internal conflicts and management issues further complicated their trajectory, leading to lineup changes and a decline in popularity by the late 1970s. Despite these struggles, the New Birth's music remains a testament to their creativity and impact on the soul and funk genres. They are remembered as one of the most innovative and underappreciated groups of their time. The New Birth's innovative blend of soul and funk left an indelible mark on music history. And next, we turn to another trailblazing group whose harmonies captured hearts, the Stairsteps, famously known as the first family of soul. Did you know that the Stairsteps, often referred to as the first family of soul, gained fame in the 1970s with their timeless classic "OOH Child"? The Chicago-based group, originally composed of siblings, Clarence, James, Aloha, Kenneth, and Dennis Burke, captivated audiences with their heartfelt lyrics and smooth harmonies. Their early success placed them among the era's most promising young acts. As the years went on, they attempted to evolve their sound, rebranding themselves as the Invisible Man's Band in the 1980s, and releasing tracks like "All Night Thing." While the move showcased their versatility, it failed to replicate their earlier success. Changing musical trends and internal challenges contributed to their decline in prominence. Despite their struggles, the Stairsteps' legacy endures, with "OOH Child" continuing to inspire listeners across generations. Their contribution to soul music has cemented their place in music history as a beloved family act with a timeless sound. Side Effect was a Los Angeles-based funk and soul group that emerged in the mid-1970s with a socially conscious approach to their music. Known for their funky grooves, tight vocal harmonies, and thought-provoking lyrics, the group gained recognition with tracks like "Keep That Same Old Feeling" and "Always There." Led by lead vocalist Augie Johnson, their sound blended elements of funk, jazz, and R&B, giving them a unique edge in a crowded music scene. Despite their creativity and critical acclaim, Side Effect struggled to break into mainstream success. The lack of substantial commercial backing, combined with the fierce competition of the era, made it difficult for them to gain widespread recognition. However, their music has been rediscovered over the years, appreciated by funk and soul enthusiasts for its artistry and depth. Side Effect remains an underrated gem, a testament to the vibrant creativity of 1970s funk and soul. Sun, a funk band hailing from Dayton, Ohio, emerged in the mid-1970s as part of the vibrant Ohio funk scene that produced legends like Zapp and Slave. Known for their energy-packed tracks, Sun made waves with their signature song, "Sun Is Here." a funky anthem that showcased their tight instrumentation and infectious grooves. Their music featured dynamic horn arrangements, smooth vocal harmonies, and irresistible rhythms, earning them a loyal following among funk enthusiasts. Despite their undeniable talent and creative output, Sun struggled to break into the mainstream and achieve the level of success enjoyed by some of their Ohio-based peers. Factors such as limited promotional support and stiff competition in the funk genre hindered their ability to reach their full potential. By the early 1980s, their momentum had waned, and the band eventually faded from the spotlight. However, their contributions to funk remain celebrated, and their music continues to resonate with fans of the genre. Sun's contributions to funk remain celebrated, their music continuing to resonate with fans of the genre. If you think these are all the famous bands, you're mistaken. Keep watching. Brick, an Atlanta-based band, carved out a unique niche in the 1970s by blending jazz and funk into a style they called Dazz. Their biggest hit, Dazz, a portmanteau of disco and jazz, became a massive success in 1976, climbing the charts and establishing the group as a standout act. The song's infectious groove, catchy melody, and innovative fusion of genres captured the essence of the era's musical experimentation. Brick followed up with other hits like Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, showcasing their talent for crafting danceable tracks with a sophisticated edge. However, despite their initial success, the group struggled to replicate the massive impact of Dazz. Shifting musical trends and internal challenges made it difficult for Brick to maintain their momentum, and they gradually faded from the mainstream. Nevertheless, their groundbreaking sound and creative approach to music have left a lasting legacy, earning them a place in the history of funk and jazz fusion. Aquarian Dream was a jazz-funk fusion band that brought a unique and sophisticated sound to the music scene of the late 1970s. Formed under the guidance of producer and composer Norman Connors, the band's music blended intricate jazz compositions with the groove and energy of funk. Tracks like Fantasy and You're a Star showcase their talent for crafting lush, layered arrangements with compelling rhythms and soulful vocals. Despite their artistic brilliance and critical acclaim, Aquarian Dream struggled to gain the exposure needed to break into the mainstream. Limited support from their label and the crowded music landscape of the time hindered their ability to reach a wider audience. As a result, the band's career was relatively short-lived, leaving fans yearning for more. However, their music has been rediscovered in recent years, earning a devoted following among jazz-funk enthusiasts. Aquarian Dream remains a hidden gem in the world of fusion music. The Futures were a Philadelphia-based soul group that emerged in the 1970s with a sound deeply rooted in the lush, orchestral style of Philly soul. Known for their smooth harmonies and romantic ballads, the group released standout tracks like Love Is Here and Party Time Man, showcasing their ability to craft heartfelt, polished songs. Despite their talent and the support of renowned producers like Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, the Futures struggled to rise above the competition from bigger names in the genre, such as the OJs and Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. The group's lack of major chart success made it difficult for them to sustain momentum in the increasingly crowded soul music scene. By the 1980s, their presence had largely faded, though their music remains a hidden treasure for fans of Philly soul. The Futures' contributions continue to be celebrated by those who appreciate the elegance and emotion of their work. The Futures' elegant contributions to Philly soul remain hidden gems, paving the way for the high-energy funk and dance floor anthems of Mass Production. Mass Production, a funk collective from Norfolk, Virginia, burst onto the scene in the late 1970s with a sound that combined tight grooves, dynamic instrumentation, and party-starting energy. Their biggest hit, Firecracker, became an instant anthem, lighting up dance floors with its infectious rhythm and funky bass line. What made this track such an unforgettable staple of the funk era? The song's success brought the band some recognition, and they followed it with other notable tracks like Cosmic Lust and Shante. Despite their creativity and talent, Mass Production struggled to sustain widespread popularity in a music landscape dominated by funk heavyweights like Parliament Funkadelic and Earth, Wind and Fire. Limited promotional support and the rise of disco further overshadowed their contributions, leading to a decline in their commercial appeal. By the mid-1980s, the band had faded from the spotlight. Nevertheless, Mass Production's music continues to resonate with funk aficionados, and tracks like Firecracker remain staples for fans of vintage dance music. Skyy was a Brooklyn-based band that brought infectious energy and a unique blend of funk, R&B, and disco to the late 1970s and early 1980s. With their signature hit Call Me, the group achieved widespread acclaim, creating a timeless anthem that dominated dance floors and airwaves. Led by producer Randy Muller, Skyy's sound combined catchy melodies, tight rhythms, and powerful vocals from the Dunning sisters. Their other hits, such as Here's to You and Start of a Romance, showcased their ability to craft feel-good tracks with broad appeal. Despite their early success, Skyy's momentum began to wane as the 1980s progressed, with shifting musical trends and increased competition from emerging R&B and electronic acts. By the late 1980s, the group had largely faded from the mainstream, though their music remains beloved by fans of disco and funk. Skyy's legacy endures as a symbol of the vibrant energy of their era. Creative Source, a Los Angeles-based funk and soul group, made a strong impression in the early 1970s with their distinctive sound and innovative approach to cover songs. Their most notable hit, a funky rendition of Bill Withers' Who Is He and What Is He to You, showcased their ability to reinterpret classic tracks with fresh energy and style. Other songs like You Can't Hide Love, later popularized by Earth, Wind and Fire, highlighted their talent for creating emotionally resonant music. Despite their early promise and critical acclaim, Creative Source struggled to establish a lasting presence in the music industry. Limited promotional support, combined with the rise of other prominent funk and soul acts, made it difficult for them to maintain momentum. By the mid-1970s, the group had largely disappeared from the scene. However, their music remains a testament to their artistry, and their unique takes on classic songs continue to captivate listeners. Creative Source's unique takes on classic songs continue to captivate listeners, proving their artistry stands the test of time. The end is near, but keep watching. Do you remember this one? Did you know that The Independents, a Chicago-based soul group, achieved significant success in the early 1970s with a string of heartfelt ballads and romantic tracks? Led by Chuck Jackson and Marvin Yancey, the group's smooth harmonies and emotionally charged lyrics resonated deeply with fans. Hits like Leaving Me and Baby I've Been Missing You showcased their ability to craft timeless love songs with universal appeal. The group's success was further bolstered by their association with Curtom Records, founded by soul legend Curtis Mayfield. However, despite their early achievements, internal struggles and creative differences began to take a toll on the group's cohesion. By 1975, the Independents had disbanded, with Jackson and Yancey moving on to successful careers as producers and songwriters. While their time in the spotlight was brief, the Independents left a lasting impact on the soul music landscape, and their hits remain cherished classics for fans of 1970s R&B. I hope you enjoyed this journey through the vibrant sounds of the 1970s, rediscovering the incredible contributions of these often overlooked black bands. Which ones stood out to you? Let us know in the comments and stay tuned for more music history.